Hey, what's up, guys? It is Coach Nye. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the I statement. I statement, okay? So, listen. So, you have so many people that accountability is just, accountability to everyone is different. People see accountability different. Everybody see it the way that they see it, and it's only one way, and that is just basically just coming in and taking account to what you did. Owning up to what you did, owning up to your part. You can look at the dictionary, however you want to look at it, and when you break it down, it's owning up to what you did or said or taking responsibility for that, right? So, a lot of the times what they do is when they're explaining something, they say we, they say us, y'all, you. But you have a small group of people that will use the word I, meaning I feel, however you want to do it. But I want to use the words with I feel and how to communicate and take ownership of something. And then the person that's receiving an I statement from that person, learning how to receive it without being offensive, but understanding where they're coming from. They're taking accountability of how they feel, not overall general. So let's use relationships. So you got relationships, you got friendships, you got ships, you got situationships, right? So if I'm having a conversation and me and my significant other, because I'm one of the type of people that I like to communicate because I want clarity. I want to make sure that I understand what you meant and what you said. I want to make sure that when I receive what you just said, and it's not me being a butthole or anything. It's just that I want to make sure that what you said is going to match what's about to come out my mouth next. So let's use the example of me and my significant other. We're having a conversation, and he says something that really struck a nerve. It was very triggering to me. It was very, I didn't like it, right? So instead of me being a butthole in that moment, cutting him off, over talking him, telling him how I feel, what I'm going to do is allow him to finish talking, because he may make himself clear at the end. And sometimes, listen, it's hard to stay quiet when somebody is blowing smoke up your butt, right? It's hard to stay quiet when you really want to just cut them off. But what I learned is stay quiet. Let them say what they're going to say. They're either going to explain themselves later on in that conversational piece, or they're not. But what you're doing is giving them their time, because when it's your time, they got to give you that same respect. That's how it should be, right? So now he's going, and then finally it's my turn. And I tell him, I don't like the way you did that. I didn't like how you said that to me. You made me feel, you made me feel this way when you said that. And that triggered me, because this is something that people used to say to me. So now that triggered me and it made me feel this way. Now we're going to play the negative response from the significant other. Well, that's your fault you feel that way. I wasn't saying it like that. That's your fault you took it that way. They ain't got nothing to do with me. So what they got to do with me? Now, pause right there. That's where the conflict comes from. This is when it's either about to be very high pitched or it's about to shut down. One of the two. So this is where the argument and the fighting comes. Now, once you identify that significant other response to you, is what's critical at this point. Because if you escalate it and you become angry, now he's going to be aggressive. Now both of you are aggressive, and it can cause things to go overboard. That's not good. But let's say that we decided to take it the calmer route, because that's what we want to do, is make sure there's no conflict. Because in a relationship, that means that there's love there. Okay? There's love there. And in conversation, you have to have enough respect for each other to stay quiet while the other one speak. And if you can't do that, you don't need to be having a conversation at all. If you're an adult and you still can't have a conversation without learning to shut up while the others speak, stay quiet while the others speak, make mental notes. Because 9 times out of 10, if you stay quiet, let that person talk, what you're trying to interrupt and battle them about is really not that important. You're going to find out, okay, that really didn't mean nothing. Because as that person talk more, you'll understand that they're really hurt. And what you want to combat them with is really unnecessary. Okay? So now, he said those, my significant other said those things. Now I'm back in the game. Now, he told me, so what? That's your fault. I shouldn't have took it that way. So my response, because we're going the positive route, is, what do you mean? What do you mean that it's my fault that I took it that way? I'm telling you right now how I felt. And it hurt. It hurt me really bad. And I don't like it. Now, because we're going a positive route, this is what the significant other is going to say. Well, sweetheart, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. Everything I said is valid. And I feel that way. But I could have found another way to deliver it to you, because I know that bothered you. I know that it bothered you. And because I love you, I'm willing to fix that. Because you are more important to me than this situation that we're in right now. Conflict. Now let's give a round of applause. Now that's in the perfect world. But the point that I'm trying to make is, you cannot say, oh, well, that's how you feel. You can't say that. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but you can't tell me how to take what you say. You can't expect me to react the way that you feel I should react in a situation that you caused. You can't, because you're handling it this way, you can't expect me to handle it that way. That's not fair. So a lot of times when I go to try and explain things to people, and I want to get to the bottom of things, and I really don't like arguing and fighting, because I've come so far that I learned how to walk away. I learned how to not let conflict bother me to the point that it's causing me to get out of character. So I had situations that I'm trying my hardest, and people that don't know me, they do not understand how hard that is. I am really trying my hardest to not go off in a situation. So I get quiet, because now I'm really being slow to speak, because what's coming to mind is not what I want to come out my mouth, because I'm pissed or I may be upset. But I know, even in the moment of me feeling these emotions, that what my mind is telling me to say is not the right thing to say. And a lot of people can't take that. A lot of people is a right now, I need it right now, tell me right now. And I have people hang up in my face, okay? Disrespect me all the way, all because I chose not to disrespect them. Now, make that make sense. Because I'm not quick to say. And in situations like that, you have to remember that's toxic. People are toxic. And they don't realize they're showing toxic traits, because how do you get upset with someone because they're not talking fast enough for you? Wouldn't you rather somebody talk with common sense and have a conversation versus hurry up and say something so you guys can continue to bump heads? That'll never make sense to me. But it's people like that out there, and it's okay. But my job is not to get mad at that person because they're not listening like how I want them to listen. You feel me? So just understanding that when you communicate with somebody, always start with the I. Always make sure that you're telling them how you feel. And the person that's listening, stop taking that away from them. Stop taking the whole thing of their I away from them. You cannot tell that person how to feel. You can acknowledge it, even if it don't make sense to you. You can still acknowledge it without changing your values or your morals. You can acknowledge it. But what you need to understand is you can't make them feel the way you think they can feel. And the person that's with the I, you cannot make that receiver, or you can't make that other person feel like they have to change what they say to you. Because now you become the problem. How about this? Don't talk to them. You go about your business. You see who they are and you see the type of person they are. Go about your business. And for the other one, you can say how you feel. If you care about that person, you can say the same thing. Just your delivery probably jacked up. So you can come to me and tell me, you get on my nerves. Okay, I received that. But you cannot come to me and tell me, you get on my effing nerves. No, we ain't gonna have that conversation. No, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. You see how you said the same thing, but it's just how you delivered it? That's what I mean. So you guys, learn about the I statement. Take an accountability for yourself. And in a relationship, learn the communication, the levels of communication, how to communicate. And this is not just relationship, this is friendship, this is anyone that you call yourself, you say, I love you too. You should be able to have an open, honest conversation without feeling judged, okay? So take accountability. And as always, remember to pour into yourself before you pour into others. I love you guys, and I am so proud of you. Continue to stay strong, standing in your power. Love. Bye.